Hello and a very warm welcome to the Star City Casino in Birmingham for the next instalment of the CelebPoker.com Roadshow. This is the CelebPoker.com Star City Grand Prix. Guaranteed first prize, £100,000. That sort of money brings out all the stars. Ed Giddings, of course, former Surrey and England cricketer, joined alongside the stars of TV, Michael Greco, former EastEnder lover-boy. Even Hollywood had a representative in the form of Lou Diamond Phillips, La Bamba. The world of snooker, the world of golf, even the pop world, all represented. Former boy band 5 Scott Robinson putting down the mic to pick up the cards. And of course Sam Torrance, the successful Ryder Cup captain. They're all ready to do battle in the CelebPoker.com Star City Grand Prix.
Yeah, I had your 50-50, your ace king against the sevens. I had the ace king, I hit, and that doubled me up. And that's what it comes down to, really. The blinds are very high, and it's a bit of luck. You just got to make your 50-50s win, and that's what's happened so far. So I'm up to 80,000. I came back today with 28, so I'm sitting comfortable at the minute.
Well, I've run out of chips, really. I guess that's why I came out. No, I didn't really. I had 24,000 chips, and after 10 minutes, without even playing a hand, I was down to 12. I had king, queen, went all in. Guy had 2 jacks, and I didn't connect, so adios.
Haven't really had a hand, to be honest. Every flush draw I try and hit, every straight I try and hit, it's not hitting cards, so it will change. I came second in the tournament yesterday where I lost most of my chips after the first half an hour, and I came back and I came second, so it's still a bit of time.
How much longer do you think you'll be in for?
Could be the next hand, and it could be another couple of hours. The blinds are still quite low, so at least I've got another 10 rounds of betting to go, so I'm not panicking.
To be honest, done nothing wrong at all. Played some good hands and got some really bad beats, so there's nothing you can do about that. If I'd have won them hands, I would have been, a big chip leader by now. But so when you lose pocket, and when you've got pocket aces and you lose, there's not much you can do really. So just unlucky.
This is the real deal. When you're acting, you're playing make believe, and it's all fun and good. But this is. I don't think anything gets my heart pumping quite well. I mean, there's sex, but other than that, this really gets my heart pumping. But having a blast, doing okay. I'm not embarrassing myself, I think, and would love to stick around and make final table, but we'll see. I think these guys are after me.
Well, before we let battle commence, let's join Lou Diamond Phillips for a Hollywood-style poker masterclass.
Hi, I'm Lou Diamond Phillips. We're going to show you how to play a hand of No Limit Texas Hold'em. The button will start here in seat number 1. Blinds will follow the button. That is a forced bet to forced action on the table. Many times the blinds will start at, say, 25 and 50. In the UK, they're pounds. 25 and 50 pounds. In the US, they're 25 and $50. Each player gets 2 cards face down. These are called your hole cards or your pocket cards. Becky, could you please? If I want to call the bet, I look at my hole cards. In this case, one of my favorite hands. If I want to call the bet, I would call 50. At this point, I can either raise or I can fold. If I'm going to raise, I have to raise twice the big blind. In No Limit Texas Hold'em, I can push in all of my chips at any time. At this point, it would be very foolish. So I would simply call this bet. We're going to pretend that's a 50, all right? Then this person will call, that person calls, we'll all call this, and we'll see the flop, in which case the dealer, Becky, will burn 1 card, flop 3. This is called the board. Queen, 10, 6. At this point, I've flopped open-ended. I've got a 9, 10, jack, queen. An 8 or a king is going to make my straight. I've got to be worried about this 1 over card. Someone could possibly have this queen, in which case they have the better hand than me. I also have to be worried about 2 to the flush on the table. Someone could have 2 clubs in the hole in their pocket cards, and therefore have 4 to the flush, in which case they've got a better draw than me. I personally, because I'm an aggressive player, I would hit this pot. I would hit this pot because I like my draw quite a lot. Hopefully, I'll take it down right now, even if I don't have a hand. I'm simply on a draw. Somebody with the queens got me beat. So let's say this person calls me. Let's say they all call because they're all playing very loose and foolishly, and we've had a lot to drink. At this point, Becky would burn one, and she turns 4th Street or the turn. That's what this is called. I happen to love this turn from my hand. As I said, I've got Jack 9 of hearts. On the flop, I had an open-ended straight draw. With the 3 of hearts on the turn or on 4th Street, I now have 4 to the flush. I still do not have a made hand. I don't have a pair yet, but I like my draw a lot. Once again, I've got to be worried about the flush draw, Ace Jack, Ace King. Any one of those is a higher straight than mine. Ace King of hearts, Ace Queen of hearts. King, any suited heart, is a higher draw than mine. That's one of the reasons I love this game, because the amount of variations and the possibilities out there. The good players are the ones who know their outs. The good players know what are the possibilities of them winning. Once again, at this point, I could push in all my chips at any time and try to take this pot. And this is where the betting, even more so than the cards, is important in No Limit Hold'em. All right? So let's say that I bet. Check to me, I bet. As a matter of fact, I'm going all in because I like my draw. All right? So I push all in. We all call. River card. Last card. I end up rivering the straight. I would take all the chips in the pot. Easy, right? See you at the tables.
We certainly will do. So the big question, who of our celebrities and our 192 runners is going to make that final table? The glitz, the glam, the Star City Casino. It's all there, £100,000 guaranteed first prize, everything to be played for. We're going to take a break. We'll see you for more on the CelebPoker.com Star City Grand Prix in a couple of ticks.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the final table of the Celeb Poker No Limit Texas Hold'em tournament in the Star City Casino in Birmingham. We had 188 runners and 6 players are still left for the final table. And I would like to introduce them with the player in seat number 1 with 753,400. He's the chip leader at the start of the final table. It's Martin Green. Please give him a nice hand for Martin. And in seat number 2 with 161,800 in chips to start, welcome George Geary. And in seat number 3 with the second best chip count to start on the final table with 453,800, Dan Brown. And in seat number 4 with 159,800, welcome Alistair Findlay.
Thank you.
And in seat number 5 with 34,700, welcome Ed Giddens. And in seat number 6 with 266,000, it's Julian 2.
Well, before we get into the action, let's quickly run through the hand rankings. You start with a pair. Obviously, it would suggest 2 pairs would come next. Then there's 3 of a kind, otherwise known as trips or indeed a set. Then there's a straight, that's 5 consecutive cards but not the same suit. Followed by a flush, that is the same suit but they don't have to be consecutive. Then you've got a full house, that's 3 of a kind and a pair. Follows that by 4 of a kind. Then straight flush, that of course a straight and a flush as the name would suggest. And of course the nuts hand, the royal flush, Ace King Queen, Jack 10 of the same suit. So here are the final 6 for the CelebPoker.com Star City Grand Prix, all revved up and ready to go. £100,000 guaranteed first prize. Martin Green, chip leader, Daniel Brown, Julian Few, George Geary, Alistair Findlay and Ed Giddens make up the cast. Well, Daniel's found himself an early pair in the very first hand,
8,000 with another
but he's come up against the
15,000.
chip leader who's got the ace 10 offsuit. Let's see what the flop brings.
Well, Martin is opening with a raise to 23,000.
Call.
Dan calls.
23,000 to you, darling. Nope.
Alistair fold, Ed fold, and Julian fold. 2 players,
Okay.
and we see a flop.
So just the 2 players in it. Some early action this hand 1 of the final 6. And
The flop
Martin's
comes
hit his
king,
ace.
Ace 6. Martin is first to act.
So is the chip leader going to play this one slow, or is he going to look to knock him out early doors?
Dan folds, and pot goes to Martin.
A good
Martin
shout from
shows an
Daniel.
ace.
Martin, first blood, shows an ace, had the pair. Early action, first hand in the final table. Now Ed Giddings at the moment trailing severely on the chip front. Needs to act and needs to act soon.
All in.
And he's got the hand to act with. Ace 8 suited. Will he get some callers?
Martin calls.
Passed.
Chip leader will
George
not be seen
folds.
off.
Dan folds.
18,700 to you.
Oh, he's found himself a big pair. He's going to love that. He's all in!
And Alistair announces all in. Let's see the flop.
And the all in was enough
And the
to
flop
see
comes
Martin
5
off.
of
So it's just
diamonds,
Ed against
7 of
Alistair. Here we
spades,
go.
Queen of spades.
And the flop
Which is
hasn't
no help
produced
for
that
Ed.
ace that
He
Ed
needs
was
an
after.
ace. Let's see the turn card.
Just the 1 diamond as well for a very
Turn
outside
card
flush
is the
draw.
5 of hearts.
No chance of a flush
Still
now
with
for
the
Ed.
eight.
It's got to be an ace,
And the river card.
or Ed
sorry,
is
the ace.
going home. Here we go.
And the river card is another 5. No help for him. Our 6th place finisher. Ed
It's an
Giddens.
early
Just
bath
keep a nice hand.
for Ed Giddings.
Hi, George. To get to the final 6, I came back today short stacked. I played pretty good today. Unfortunately, when it was down to the final 8, I was a bit weak, to be honest. I made a raise with a pair of 9s, and I was low stacked, and I raised too much. I thought basically I passed to a re-raise. There was a raise which I was happy about, but I passed to a re-raise thing, and it was Martin Green. He wouldn't re-raise me with rubbish. So I thought that I was a big dog, and I was happy to try and stay in there and fight. But I had a pair of 9s, and I was up against Ace Queen, Ace King. If I had called, I would have made a full house, which would have given me 250,000. Unfortunately, I was a bit weak and I didn't do it, and I've come back to the final table with 30,000. As soon as I see Ace 8, that's good enough to move all in with. And Mr. Finley beside me, he had a pair of kings, quite rightly put me out.
So an empty seat at the final table at least means that the seat beside me is now filled in the commentary box. Great welcome to my partner in crime, Ed Giddings.
Thanks, Johnny. Yeah, a mad dash from the table straight to the box, and it's good to. Well, it's not really good to be back here, but no ace came, and anyway, it is good to
Martin
be
makes
beside
it
you again, Johnny.
24,000 to play.
I always enjoy hearing you refer to yourself as a big dog. Let's focus on this hand. A lot of
Then
early
the
action
small blind
in
calls.
this final table.
There has been some early action. This is Alistair here. He's in the big blind, and he's going to make this up. There's some value here. Alistair's a very tight player. He wouldn't normally like to play ace 4, but the fact that he's had 2 callers, he's got what you call the great pot odds here. So he's just going to make up the raise.
And big blind calls.
And we're going to see a flop 3 ways.
Okay. Got Queen.
Up
Three.
comes Queen, 3, 7. Dennis first.
Right, well, we're going to find out now. Martin's got, well, they both hit their top pair, and Martin's quite a big underdog here with no real straight possibilities out there, and it's going to be tough to get away from, he's hit his flop,
Then
it's
bets
going to be tough for
40,000.
Martin to get away from this, unless
The Alistair
he
folds.
can hit 2 pair.
Martin calls.
Okay.
But the odds tell their own story at the moment. He is a major dog.
Yeah, he is, yeah. Martin will also realise that Daniel has played
eight.
very, very tight all through this tournament.
Dennis first. Board is queen, 3,
We just
7,
lost
8.
Alistair, of course, in that last round of betting. He, if he had stayed, the turn brought up a
And
fourth spade for
100,000
him.
bet from Dan.
If he's going to rue that decision.
Yeah. Martin doesn't know it, but Martin has got 3 cards to hit. He has to hit one of the other 10s out of about 45 cards or so that are left.
And Martin calls.
Which basically explains
River
the
card.
just under
15 to
7% odds on.
Oh dear. He's a lucky man, that Martin
7,
Green.
8,
Now,
10. Dennis first to act.
Daniel here shouldn't do anything too rash.
Announces all in.
Well, he's been extremely rash.
It's cold.
And Martin says call. Martin shows queen 10. Got 2 pairs, queens and 10s. And all in hand from then is queen,
Well
check.
done, Bird.
To be fair, I don't like that move from Daniel. Daniel,
Martin
he's been
wins with
called
2
all
pairs,
the way
queens
down.
and
He
10s.
realises
River card made him 2
that
pairs.
Martin must have
Now fifth place
something.
finisher is
And
Dan Brown.
the situation there, he was only going to get called if he was beat.
Well, we had top pair all the way down. I was betting it, and he was struggling to curl. And I was ahead until the river. I put him all in after the river card, which I probably should have done the card before, but he hit the last card, and that was that.
It raises to 24,000.
That was that, as he so rightly says. Just goes to prove it's not enough to be a good poker player, you've got to be a lucky one as well.
Yeah, you have. Martin had good luck there, but you need to win a tournament with 192
Small blind
players.
calls.
You need luck as well as skill. Martin's got both of those in abundance.
Pass.
Big blind fold. We got 2 players.
Now the big change here, of course, Martin, original chip leader, is now massive chip leader.
King deuce.
Opportunities to
Comes
bully.
king, deuce, 6.
Yeah,
Check.
there is
Dennis
that
is
side of
first.
things, but also he can also sit around now and wait for other people
He
to knock
announces all
themselves
in.
out. We've got an all in here. Alistair realises that he's ahead. He knows he's hit his top pair. He's hit his pair of kings. He doesn't want Martin to play any funny
folds and
little
the pot
games
goes
or
to
give him the
Alistair.
opportunity
He
to
shows a
hit.
king, top pair.
Hit an ace. There's £100,000 to the winner here.
Because it's going to be a cheap race in 3 minutes.
Martin's going to want other people to go out around him.
18,000 in red on the table. I have to take this away.
Eight with.
Alistair's certainly
First
been
up.
proactive throughout this final table. Julian Thew sitting pretty quiet.
Julian can certainly make some moves. He makes some big moves. He trusts his instincts. Sometimes they are right, sometimes they are wrong. But he's a mighty fine player.
Julian is raising
And
to 40,000.
he's only going to get action, especially with it being Alistair Finlay's blind, big blind, if Alistair has a genuine hand.
Martin folds.
Alistair won't be playing any
George
games.
fold.
He certainly isn't. He's showing his
And
cards. So
Alistair.
there you go. Julian
Fold.
wins one. We're going to take a short break. We'll be back for more on the CelebPoker.com Star City Grand Prix. Welcome back to the CelebPoker.com Star City Grand Prix. We're down to the final 4, and what a 4 in.
Yeah, it is. We've got 2 youngsters, Martin Green and Julian Thew, fantastic flair players. And there, also on the table, we've got George Geary and Alistair Finlay, who have got rather a lot of experience between them. And it's going to be tough to get the chips off those 2. And I'm looking forward to this next.
Martin is raising to 36,000.
And immediately,
Julian in the big blind.
Martin has raised Julian's big blind. Now, Julian's not going to be scared to fight back here.
For what I've seen of Julian, he's quite unorthodox at times. Doesn't play the most predictable of games. He
And
can
Julian
be very
calls.
brave, can be very conservative.
Yeah, he trusts his instincts massively, and if he thinks somebody is making a move
2
on
players.
him, he is not scared to come over the top and
Martin
say,
and
no,
Julian.
you're trying this on, mate.
And the flop comes. Check 9-3. Julian checks.
Well, both players have missed that. And so
Martin bets 50,000.
Martin's bet out 50 to say, okay, whereabouts am I at?
50 with.
Right, well, Julian's decided that you haven't hit any of that, Martin, so I'm going to raise you. But the problem is, Julian's got about 110
He's raising
left.
all in.
So he's got to match Martin's raise of 50 and another 60. So I don't think he's got enough to push Martin off this hand.
And Martin calls, which means Julian is all in. Julian shows Queen 5 of clubs, which is Queen high. And Martin shows Ace King.
Martin will be
Julian needs to
astounded
improve.
not
Needs
to
a
see
queen.
Julian with either a jack or a 9 at least.
No help for him. So a queen or a 5.
With Martin having over 1 million chips, he can
It's a
afford
4.
to make that call.
So Julian chooses our 4th place finisher. Give me a nice round of applause for Julian, please.
The last hand, I had average chips for quite a while, and I hadn't picked up anything in about half an hour. I was getting a little bit short and probably a bit frustrated, and Martin, the big chip leader, had raised. It was my big blind. I didn't have a hand, but I sensed it was a good situation to try and pick up the pot. So I've called, he's bet the flop, and I've moved in with nothing. I probably didn't have quite enough chips to get him to pass, and he's called with a better hand. So that was it. It was quite a quick exit.
So Julian, just confirming there what you were saying, Ed, just not enough chips really to scare Martin off. And I have to say, of all the poker professionals I've met, Julian Thew, one of the nicest.
Yeah, he's always good when he wins. It's one for the good guys.
No shame in 4th.
There's not at all. In actual fact, I called him one of the youngsters. He's actually 37. I think he looks damn good for 37.
Looks damn good.